Amazon, Kindle Paperwhite, and PDFs have never really been jiving, really. The Kindle Paperwhite 1 and the Kindle Paperwhite 2, and they couldn't even run PDFs, really. You would put them in and they would say file is too large, insufficient RAM, not enough memory to run the PDF, and it just force closes. So they finally rectified this at around the manga model Kindle Paperwhite 3 era, and the Kindle Paperwhite 4 really shines. Although there are still quite a bit of things you can't do. For example, tapping the top, there's no slider bar at the bottom, and that's, something that's so easy to put in, and they don't have it. They actually have a go to, and when you do a go to, you have to click 3 or 4 times to even get to a point where you can go to a page. So not only is it 4 or 5 functions to get to the point where you want to navigate, it's so deeply hidden in this labyrinth, and a lot of the time contents on side-loaded content doesn't even work because it's not properly indexed. Anyways, the geeky stuff out of the way, let's continue and see what we can and can't do. Page turns are very good. It refreshes pretty much every page, but we want that because PDFs have a lot of images and grayscale, and there's a lot going on, so we want it to refresh so it'll be clean the next page. Now, something really cool that Amazon does is you'll see on the top corner, it actually has a mini-map, but it's not just any mini-map, it's a scaled down version of the PDF page itself, and that's awesome. So not only do you know exactly where you are, you know exactly where you're looking. Another thing is that when you're navigating around, you can lift your finger off and continue navigating around. Look at that, boom, boom, boom. And it doesn't actually have to render in between every time you do that. That is really cool because it could get annoying doing a full render like it's doing now every time I lift my finger off the page. So Amazon's always been really good at translation. It's what I absolutely love. I always point people in this direction if they want to translate things. For example, this is a side-loaded, free-to-use PDF that I plug and played into this device, and I can still box text on a side-loaded PDF and translate any language to any language on this drop-down. This is huge. It's something people overlook because this basically breaks down all the barriers of any side-loaded content. It only takes like 3 or 4 seconds and you can basically box huge paragraphs of text and read them in any language. And there are a fair number of languages here: Norwegian, Portuguese, Russian, Italian, Spanish, Japanese, Hindi, even Hindi. And that's like, man, I couldn't read that if you paid me. Look at that. So yeah, there's quite a bit going on in terms of translation and functionality when it comes to PDFs. But there's a lot of things missing. For example, there's no scribble like a lot of Onyx products have. There's no proper slider bar at the bottom. It's a couple jump throughs to get to any sort of text augmentation, and it's pretty marginal. You have contrast, which makes everything completely faded out or completely darkened, so it's not exactly necessary to have that. And then you have margins, which just squishes the PDF closer together, and given the fact that it's a 6-inch, it's hard to read. I'm sorry, I have 20/20 vision and it's really hard to read, and it's kind of annoying having to zoom in on every single thing and then wait for it to render like that, and then slowly move down and be like, oh, I can't read over there, I'm gonna move it over there, oh, I didn't move it far enough, it needs to render. It can get a little bit annoying, but it does run it. It does allow you to do translations, it does it well, and it runs pretty much any PDF regardless of the size, and this is a fairly large PDF with a lot of images. If you guys have any other questions, comments, or concerns on how this handles anything else, if you want to see anything else, go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/goodyreader, and for a PDF experience on the Kindle Paperwhite 4, this is Peter.